Hi everyone, it's Arrington from Paleo Kid Adventures, and I wanted to talk to you today about Easter. In our family, we avoid eating sugar, and so Easter could be a real problem because it's really about chocolate bunnies and those little marshmallow peeps and things like that, and we just don't do that. And having four kids from the ages of now 7, 9, 11, and 12, it becomes a challenge. Well, what do we do for Easter so our kids don't feel like they're missing out on life and missing out on the holiday? And even just from a religious perspective aside, we aren't particularly religious. We don't go to church, but like Christmas, Christmas is about Santa, and Easter's about the Easter Bunny. It really doesn't have much to do anymore in some cases with religion, and so, but at the same time, it's something that kids can feel like they're missing out on. So what we've done is to get a little bit creative. So for Easter, what I do now, when I first started, I used to start off with things like little treats, like these little like bunnies with parachutes, and I'd put them in kind of, in plastic eggs. I have some larger plastic eggs, you can get those. So I used to put treats in plastic eggs, and I used to hide them around, and then the kids would run around and collect them. And now, as they've gotten older, and the other thing is we homeschool. And so one of the things that we want to do is always make things educational. And so we would do things like I would get these magic, they're like kind of like grow foam figures. And these are all different types of dinosaurs. And so I put the little capsules, and I'd put them, a bunch of them, I put about 9 of them in this egg. And we'd do some dinosaur identification. And so it's a nice way to combine school and, the holiday together. The other thing I'd do is I'd stuff things like, in these eggs, I have sidewalk chalk. So this is sidewalk chalk that's in the shape of an egg. And I just put it in another egg. And so that's something that they can collect. So like I said, I used to actually take these eggs and hide them around the yard or hide them around the house and have them collect them. Nowadays, as they're a little bit older, I found was even funner, and it allows me to do bigger types of prizes like these. These are really cool. They're stunt ribbons, so you can do all kinds of fun things with them. It's a real active outdoor activity. So now I can actually this new approach that I have, which is creating a scavenger hunt, allows me to use things like this, and because I can now hide the eggs and the prizes in containers and places where they wouldn't find them normally. So what I've done, let me show you. I'm going to actually take you through exactly kind of like how I create the scavenger hunt, because a scavenger hunt can be a little bit confusing, especially if you have a lot of clues. And so I found kind of an easy method to do it. So even when I'm a little brain dead, I can still get the right prizes and the right eggs and the right things into the right places. So let's get started. So the first thing I do is I hop on my word processor and I create a series of clues. Now my kids all run around, and the older kids can kind of hog the whole process. So what I've done is I've actually labeled each clue so that whoever gets this clue is responsible for finding this thing. So in this case, Elise her clue is I'm hanging out with the paint. And where I'm putting this clue, where I'm putting the egg that she has to find, is the bookcase paint. So we have some paints, acrylic paints that we use for painting clay, that are stored in the bookcase. There's a bunch of other paints in the house too. So there's a lot of, and they might even be, go look out in the garden shed. So this is a good clue. It's going to keep them looking for a little while. The next one is Chloe. You've got mail. We're gonna hide that. She's gonna find her egg in the mailbox. Maisie, it's freezing in here. That's going to be in the freezer. So, and you can see I'm where the veggies grow. I'm where the water flows. I'm where you like to read. I'm where the awesome lemonade lemons are. I love milk. And what you can see here too is like I'm ready for a juicy steak. You can see some of these clues are going to be outside in the barbecue, inside in the refrigerator, outside in the water downspout. I have things like I'm where you like to climb. We've got this great olive tree that the kids are always climbing. Um, the kids love watching The King of Random. He's a YouTuber that does all kinds of awesome projects. And so Richard in particular really likes The King of Random. So this clue for him is going to have, he's going to, if he thinks about it, he'll realize, oh, we watched that on the TV. We have a TV that we don't use as a TV. It's just for like watching videos and educational things. So anyhow, that's where I'm going to hide that egg. So then the next thing I do, let me show you a couple more things about this. Actually, you'll see here, some of these are in purple and you really can't read it. Those are actually clues where I'm hiding the clue down the street. So there's a tree down the street where we like to, that our neighbor has, that we get these awesome lemons that are variegated that we just love. We actually have a plant of our own now. So we get these lemons off of our neighbor's tree, and that's where these are what we make our lemonade out of. And so that's down the street. This other purple one down here is down the street too. That's where the satellite dishes are. And then the clothesline. There's some outdoor clothesline in our neighborhood. So anyhow, that's what those purple things are. So I know I need to actually take those and kind of hide them farther away. And then these ones that are in yellow, the ones that I highlighted in yellow, and I made this kind of long, I think there's 30 clues on this, but all of these highlighted in yellow are all places that are big enough that I could store a prize. So that's where I'm going to start putting something like this. And you can see, if you read here, the chicken roaster. I've got this egg. It's full of like those temporary tattoos. And then I have this kitchen storage bench. I'm going to have the chalk that are inside the eggs. Remember I showed you that earlier? And then the cooler, I could put something in. I haven't decided. I don't really have a prize for there this year, right now. The Ziploc bags, where the Ziploc baggies are, I have these long bubble wands. There's an outdoor storage bin that we have, and I actually put together little kits for the kids. It has all kinds of art supplies, protractors, colored pencils, art supplies, tape, paper clips, things like that they've been wanting, that they're always taking off my desk. So I put together these tubs, clear plastic tubs that they can put in the bookcase with all their stuff. And then the last thing is the washing machine. This is a great place because in a washing machine, you can take a bag like this and just simply stick it down inside the washing machine and have your prizes. So inside the washing machine, I have a bag with all kinds of really cool arts and crafts for them. And so that's kind of all together there. And then the kids' bathroom, where the toilet paper is stored under the sink, I have these great floaties that we're going to blow up and we're going to take to the river this summer. So you can see everything. So what you can do for your own list is create a set of clues. You may or may not need to identify which child. Like I just went down and put their names in because I wanted to make sure that each kid was in charge of finding one clue. You know what I mean? It's like the younger kids didn't get overruled or by their older siblings, right? And so you can do that, take that or leave it. And then across from the clue, put where you're actually going to hide it. So it reminds you where you're going to be. Okay? So that's step one. Then the next step, and then also let me show you the final thing that I do with this. So the next step that I do is I got these camo colored eggs because they hide better. And what I do is I cut out, I have these clues and I kind of cut it like this. So you can see. And so I'll show you how I do this next, but I basically cut out this side, fold it up, and I put it inside of this egg. And then on the outside, see this one up here, this from the line above? That's actually where I need to hide it. So for example, Elise, I'm where John stores his old junk. She's going to find the egg that the egg that she's supposed to discover, which also has the prize of the craft bins, is hidden in the outdoor storage bin. So, but this clue needs to go in the egg before that. You know what I mean? So that she's going to, so basically Richard was before Elise. So up here, Richard had a clue that said, and I forget what it was. What was it that Richard was supposed to do? Here you can see, Richard, give me your leftovers. And then he's supposed to find in the Ziploc baggie cupboard, he's going to find the bubble wands and he's going to find this egg that's going to be that when it's opened is going to have this clue for Elise to find where John stores his old junk. And that's going to take them outside. Okay? So this makes it kind of simple because, and I'll take you through it so you can actually see how this works. Okay? So here I am. The first thing I'm going to do, and all I did was I took the paper and I just cut so that I could keep this all together. And I have a separate copy, which is kind of my master in case I get lost, and also when they're doing the scavenger hunt. But I'm just going to take this clue here and cut it out. This is going to be the one that Elise is going to find. And I'm going to fold this up. And I'm actually out of these camo eggs. I did too many clues. I did 30 clues this year, and so I only had 28 eggs. So anyhow, I'm going to take this clue, I'm going to put it in this egg, and I'm going to close it up so it snaps shut completely. And then, okay, I just spent about 5 minutes getting this egg to snap together. These eggs, I got like at the dollar store or something, and they are really cheap. These other eggs that I had are a lot harder. They snap together much easier. This one, I just spent 5 minutes trying to get it to snap together, and now it wants to pop back open on me. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of plastic on there. But I would just say for your sanity, don't get the very cheapest plastic eggs. They're not very expensive anyhow, but because you could end up spending quite a bit of time trying to get these things closed. So there's my clue. And what I'm going to do now is, remember, this was the row above. I just cut this out. This is the row above. I'm going to cut this here because this is where this clue needs to go. So I'm going to just take a little bit of tape and I'm going to stick it on here. And I'm actually going to put it like this so I can keep it kind of closed, because now the Ziploc baggies is inside. So what I did is I actually I have a bag with all the inside eggs. So these are all the inside eggs. And so I can just go around in my house. And what I'll do is I go around inside my house first and look at, okay, this one goes in the refrigerator. And it also has a prize because I'm putting this in the veggie drawer. There's a bunch of small eggs. This one here goes in the bookcase. This one here goes in the bench storage in the kitchen. So I'm going to basically take this egg, put it where it needs to go, and I'll peel this off, so that it's just the egg. But it makes it really easy for me to run around and put these things where they need to be. I have a separate little bin here. This is all the outside stuff. So now I know, okay, this goes in the olive tree. This goes into the water downspout. Okay? And then I have one last place. Remember I showed you I had some things that I had to go down the street. They had purple. So there's the purple ones that have to go down the street. There's 3 of them. And there's also the first egg. So this is the very first egg that starts the whole scavenger hunt. Elise is going to start off. I started off going from youngest to oldest child. So Elise gets to start off. This is the egg I'm going to give her to start the scavenger hunt. And but you can see otherwise all the rest of these, this is the cooler. I'm going to put this in here. Somehow I got that in the wrong bin. But so you can see by having these three piles, now I'm going to make it really easy on myself when I go put these things, hide these things. See if I can get that to stay again. Okay. So, and let me just show you one more. This is actually my very last clue. PU, that stinks, better wash me. That actually is, this is the bags, the prize bags, my grand prize that I hid in the washing machine. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. I'm going to snap it closed, and I'm probably going to pause the camera again because snapping these eggs closed can be, oh, look it, I got it. Ah, woo! That was lucky. And so, and then remember I take the tab above, cut that out, and get a piece of tape, tape it, and there I have it. Outdoor storage bin. That goes into my outdoor pile with all the rest of the outdoor ones. So, and as you can see, I've got these light green eggs. It's just because I ran out of the camo colored eggs. I like the camo colored eggs because I have older kids and I'm trying to hide these so that it's not so obvious. It doesn't just jump out at them where they're hidden. And so, but you can use, brightly colored eggs. You can use big eggs. You can use small eggs, whatever you like for your scavenger hunt. But so anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, Easter can be really fun, and you don't have to make it a huge, big sugar fest. Really, the key is knowing your own kids and what they really enjoy. And so we really like to give prizes that have art and craft projects. I have some really cool coloring pencils and everything else in the other gift bags. Um, so, and this gives you a really fun way for them to celebrate, Easter, to be able to run around, have a scavenger hunt, collect eggs, get neat prizes, and really enjoy the day. So that's kind of the ritual we've set up for our family. And it might be something that will work for your family, especially if you're trying to get away from sugar and candy and all that kind of stuff, and you'd like to have a celebration that's a little bit more meaningful around, having some special prizes and getting things that your kids can really use to build things and for art projects and things like that. So, and for fun activities. I mean, you could even do hula hoops with this, right? So, anyhow, I hope you have a wonderful Easter and you enjoy the celebration and that this was helpful for you. See you later.